Welcome back, Canonites. April was a fairly light month for Halo Canon and Halo in general, but that ain't gonna stop us, so let's dive in. Starting off with, in case you missed it, we only had 3 videos this month. I'll get into a couple reasons why in a moment. First up was a review of the final issue of Halo Lone Wolf. It was a fantastic ending to an overall good comic series. Next up was a look at what the lore says about a second class of Spartan-IIs. A second class was brought up as far back as Halo The Fall of Reach, but the canon surrounding them is fairly messy, let's say. If you're interested, check out the video. Finally, this past Monday saw the release of a video looking at how visual changes in Halo Infinite may be explained from a lore perspective. All 3 videos are linked below if you missed them or want to watch again. Now, as for why the video count this month was so light, it's because I'm working on a number of videos in preparation for Halo Reach's release on PC and the MCC in the near future. Some are aimed specifically at new or returning Halo fans, while others are going to be of interest for new and longtime fans. I also have plans to do the same for Halos CE, 2, 3, ODST, and 4 as they come to PC. Basically think of the Halo 5 Guardians and Halo Wars 2 Primer series I did a while back. Look forward to that soon. Moving on, next up is official releases. Again, a light month. We start out, again, with the release of Halo Lone Wolf issue 4 on April 3rd. A hardcover collection of all 4 issues is expected for June 25th, but we also just learned this month that an exclusive cover version of the collection will be available at Outpost Discovery. Well, that's it for releases. Maybe I should call this section official news going forward. We learned this month that both Steve Downes and Jen Taylor, the voices of Master Chief and Cortana respectively, are going to be at all 5 Halo Outpost Discovery locations, so fans are going to have even more reasons to be excited. Speaking of the Master Chief, we also found out who will be playing the big man in the upcoming Halo TV series, Pablo Schreiber. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If you don't know the name, Pablo plays Mad Sweeney on American Gods and has played Jim Lovell in First Man and Pornstache, as he's called, and Orange is the New Black, among other roles. Overall, he seems a solid choice for Chief, both from an acting standpoint and a looks standpoint, should they choose to do that. We also learned of the casting of Yaren Ha, I hope I got that right, as a new character created for the show, Quan Ah. Yaren is a very new actress, so we'll have to wait and see how she does. And on the subject of the TV series, as I'm sure you've all heard by now, there's been some rather controversial news that came out alongside these casting announcements. I'll talk about that in time, but I feel it's still a bit early to dive into it. We don't have enough details. Finally, in our news section, we gotta cover the reveal for Halo Meridian Divide, the upcoming sequel to Halo Battleborn by Cassandra Rose Clark, which will continue the adventures of Battleborn's characters and once again feature Spartan Owen B096, who is depicted in very Mark V-like armor on the cover. I may talk about that more in the future, but we'll see. Currently, the book is slated for release on October 1st. And with that, we come to Community Highlights, the best part. Starting us off is a writer by the name of Brendan Lowry. Some of you may recognize that name, especially if you follow me on Twitter. Brendan is a writer for Windows Central. I actually referenced and discussed an article of his back when Halo Infinite was announced. And this month he released the latest article in his Halo Timeline series for that website. Each article in the series looks at an era of the Halo universe, from the Forerunners to the most recent article focusing on Halo 3 ODST and the Battle of New Mombasa. It's a great series of articles, especially for new fans. Brendan also has a personal blog where he dives deeper into the lore of Halo, giving detailed examinations of various aspects of the universe, though he writes about more than just Halo. Check out his work. Next up is a twofer with Podcast Evolved and their blog, Blogging Evolved. As you can guess by the name, Podcast Evolved is a Halo-themed podcast. They talk about Halo lore and news, break down Halo games mission by mission, and host a book club, among much more. It's a great listen with some fantastic folks if you're into Halo lore or Halo in general. More recently though, they launched Blogging Evolved. Blogging Evolved features articles on various aspects of Halo, from speculation to breakdown of real science as it applies to Halo. The site also features its own Halo timeline, which goes into fantastic depth on the events, characters, and media of the Halo universe in an easy-to-navigate format. Speaking of podcasts, our next shoutout goes to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. Podtacular is a podcast that's been running in some form since 2005. Currently, it's hosted by Dustin Duststorm Pettigrew and Michael Godzilla T. Todd. They discuss all things lore and news related, and also host game nights on Fridays. I actually joined the Podtacular crew along with a few other Halo community members in its most recent episode discussing the Kilo 5 trilogy. Check it out. After that, we have a bit of nostalgia. I remember years ago just browsing the web one day and I stumbled across a certain video. Haloid. Haloid was my introduction to Monty Ohm, as I'm sure it was for many people. And as I was aspiring to get into gaming and animation at the time, it left a strong impact on me. So when creator Crazy Halo announced that he was going to remake this classic, I was both nervous and excited. Finally, this past month, the Haloid remake was released, and it was everything I could have hoped for and more. I've linked to both the original and the remake below if you want to compare, and I encourage you to subscribe to Crazy Halo to see what else he's done. Next up, we have an Avengers Endgame-style trailer for Halo 2 Anniversary by, I hope I get this right, Guga Lunam. Again, I hope I got that right. Regardless, it's fantastic work, so check it out. After that, we have some content from a user called the Vengeful Vadam. First up is a mod for Halo Reach called Halo Reach Evolved. It's a campaign mod that takes a lot of inspiration from Halo CE while rebalancing the sandbox. Sadly, at the moment, the only way to play it is with a modded Xbox, but I'm really hoping he'll be able to bring it over to Halo Reach on PC when that comes out, especially if modding support is included at some point. Regardless though, in the meantime, his video talking about all the changes he made is a great watch. And speaking of Reach, Vadam also released an in-depth look at the Halo Reach beta and how it differed from the final product. He's actually done this for a number of Halo alpha and beta builds across the games. It's a great look at how games can change over the course of development. Be sure to check out both of these projects and give the guy a sub. He more than deserves it. Next, we have a channel that I've mentioned recently, Mista Macho. Mista Macho is a gaming YouTube channel that often focuses on Halo. Notably, he's done some amazing videos looking at cancelled Halo projects. Check him out on YouTube and Twitter and give him a sub and a follow. Following that is a Twitter user named Rookie425, a Source filmmaker artist. He's put together some fantastic screenshots in the time I've been following him. If you enjoy that sort of thing, and I think a lot of you do, head over to give him a follow. Next up is a new kind of shout out, a fanfic on the Halo Amino app by Jedi Spartan-38. Set in 2545, just after when Operation Torpedo would have taken place, the story follows Jedi Spartan's version of Spartan B312, aka the future Noble 6. Basically, this is the kind of thing that Bungie was encouraging when making Noble 6 such a blank slate in Halo Reach. You don't need the Amino app to read it, so if you enjoy Halo fanfiction, check it out. After that, we have a recurring creator, DevJoe27, with a remake of a Halo tribute video he made a while back. Check it out. Our penultimate shoutout goes out to YouTuber Calibyrnes, who recently put together what is essentially a Halo 5 movie in 2 parts. Utilizing cutscenes and heavily edited gameplay, Part 1 tells the majority of Osiris' side of the story, with Part 2 focusing on Blue Team and Halo 5's ending. It's a fantastic watch that brings the game to life in a new way. Regardless of your overall feelings on Halo 5, I'd recommend giving it a go and throwing the guy a sub. A lot of work went into this and it deserves recognition. And finally, we highlight this month's community spotlights on Halo Waypoint, which, as always, features some truly amazing fan art and creations. I seriously need to find a better way to highlight these. I don't know how much traffic these spotlights get, but I promise it's never enough. The creativity of the Halo community will always bring a smile to my face. But that brings things to an end. Looking forward, I can't promise that May will be much better than April was in terms of content, if only because I'll be on vacation for much of the month. That said, I'm hoping to get at least 4 videos out, starting with that Q&A I mentioned last time. Fingers crossed. That's all for now though, thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been Halo Canon. Thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, and if you really love me, hit that notification bell and leave a thumbs up. These both really help out the channel. I wouldn't be where I am now without your views and support, so once again, thank you. Keep on being awesome, Canonites.